Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pop
Oh,
Culture
wow.
Spread, our fun weekly movie and streaming show with a twist. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Rick. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell. We would really appreciate it. Also, remember to hear us on audio podcasts on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and where all good podcasts are found. Check out our merch store as well. All the links are down below. And joining me on the show, as always, he's the other half of Pop Culture Spread and my good mate, VHS Jace. How are you, buddy?
Very good, mate. Now that we've been podcasting for about 6 years now, Rick, and that is the first time we've ever had the weirdest thing happening. You were talking in the other one, and it was delayed by 4 or 5 seconds. Everything froze up. But that's the nature of the beast. You go live, you never know what's going to happen. So, but I'm thrilled to know now that we are up and we are working because we've got a lot to talk about, as we always do, Rick, on this show.
All right, mate. You know what? Let's get into it. Let's talk some big news. Mate, I didn't think we'd have these two people in the same sentence, but Christopher Nolan says Taylor Swift, the Heirs Tour, proves just how important theaters are. How we got one of the biggest singers and one of the biggest directors in the same sentence. What's going on here, Jace?
Well, this is a fascinating story. And, Taylor Swift this is not the first time she's become an unlikely hero. If you know the story about Taylor Swift and her contract, and the fact that she was being shortchanged by record studios, so she re-released all her material, re-recorded, remastered everything, and re-released it, and certainly a strong message to the music industry. Well, she's kind of done the same thing here with Hollywood. She's got it's called the Eras Tour going at the moment. So they filmed it. Nothing new. There's been concert movies before, but she's filmed it. It was actually rejected. She's not distributing it through a studio.
Right, one of the big studios. She's
not doing that. She's releasing it kind of independently. And the people who are distributing it are actually the theaters, AMC. So they've cut out the middleman here, cut out the studios. This thing is making bank, Rick. It is a big hit already. It's already grossed $123 million US domestically within a week.
What?
Which is massive. And with this deal, for that week alone, Swift and AMC combined are taking 50% of the total box office globally for that week.
That's some big coin.
It comes up against Martin Scorsese's, Killers of the Flower Moon. But I still think it's going to have a lot of traction. But here, rather than the studios getting their cut, she's be able to say, hey, there's a different way you can do things. And it's very exciting, I think, because at the end of I've been going on now for weeks since we started the show about the change in Hollywood, and this is another thing they can do. They apparently Phantom Events, who are kind of behind all this, and they've done things like with Kevin Smith when he toured his movies around the country and that. But he's been saying their phone's been ringing off the hook, going, well, hang on, we can do something besides traditional film here. And that's something that's really great. So, again, the idea of people love Taylor Swift. She's she's the biggest star in the world at this point.
Huge.
Massive star in the world. So she draws the audience, and very primarily, I would say, a mostly female audience. And the ladies love going to the movies. So, and if you think about this year, dude, the two big money makers this year have actually been films directed towards a female audience more than a male audience. That's Barbie, and that's something like this, and it's paying off really well. So what does that mean for the future? This means, Rick, that potentially people could make a movie, release it on YouTube, becomes hits, or they release clips, and then they could actually meet and organise and have their movies showing in
In the
theatres
theatre.
and them getting most of the cut. They don't have to go through a studio to make it happen. There's a lot of potential goodness coming out of this. And Christopher Nolan, of all people,
One of the biggest
Christopher
directors in the
Nolan.
world.
huge fan
Back
of
it
the idea. He's a
Yeah.
big believer on it. And he was quoted as saying Taylor Swift is about to show the studios because of her concert film is it's about to show the studios because of her concert film is not being distributed by the studios. It's being distributed by the theatre owner, AMC, and it's going to make an enormous amount of money. And this is the thing. This is a format. This is a way of seeing things as sharing stories or sharing experiences. And that's incredibly valuable. And if the studios don't want it, someone else will. And that's the truth of it. So you've got the biggest filmmaker in the world saying, this is a great thing and good on it. And this is going to change things.
I mean, this is definitely going to get the studio's ears pricked, and they're going to be looking and going, "Oh, hang on a minute, something here is working. How do we jump on this and make it work for us in the future?"
There's a lot of potential loss of income for them. Because a lot of profit comes from the distribution model as well. So distributing a film. So, wow. It's huge. It's great. I think it's, Taylor Swift, I like her. She's not, for me, not my generation. Yeah. I'm not into her as such, but damn, she's an impressive young woman because this is a couple of times now that she's been able to rip the heart out of some of these dominant industries and really go, hang on a minute, you're not just going to tread on me. So she's a hero in my book. She really is. I mean, I may not go out and rush and buy her music, but I certainly have a lot of admiration for that young lady. Yeah, hell yeah. Fantastic stuff.
I mean, and just going on, there's a little bit of an add-on to this story as well. There's a bit of argument, debate, I guess, which is going through the internet regarding the etiquette of theatre when Taylor Swift's movie has been shown. There's a lot of people that have been a bit disruptive in there. They're up, they're dancing, they're flashing their phones around, they're carrying on.
Yeah.
I think this is a good thing in this sort of scenario.
Oh, look, it's not like it is. They're not watching Schindler's List, are they?
No, they're not watching. That's right. You're not going to watch the Scorsese movie and do it.
Movie.
Correct.
And that's right. And if you go into something like that, and it sounds like that person who posts that stuff is like, they're the main character of their movie, It's all going to be about them having a perfect scenario. You go to a concert film, you'd expect people to stand up and all that. You know what I mean? You would expect it. And if you don't like it, look, what did you do? You spent maybe $20 on a movie ticket.
What
do you think is really going to happen? And the thing's going to be out in DVD in a couple of months.
And the majority of, like you said, her fans, and she's got a lot of younger fans as well, and they might not be able to go to one of her concerts. So this is how they get to share in that, and they get excited. So I think it's a good thing.
I think she's definitely being a Karen on that one. Yeah. I think it's the etiquette is you go to a concert movie, you expect that. If you go to a real film,
fair enough.
I shouldn't say that word real film, but if you go to a normal theatrical production, you got to shut up. You got to be quiet. You've got to, and I know that's different for American audience because I know they engage a lot.
Here in Australia, we don't.
Again, I mean, if you go to a Marvel film, of course, the crowd's going to be cheering and all that kind of thing. But if you're sitting there watching a serious drama, then put away your phones, pay attention to the screen. So it's all about people being self-aware of their environment around them and following etiquette. And there is movie theatre etiquette, but that's not it. I mean, if you go to a Taylor Swift movie and people want to stand up and sing along, have at it.
So be it. Let them do it. Right. Yeah, no. All right, Jace. Let's get into some other news, mate. What do we got? Oh, we got some Deadpool 3 news, which is not good at all. Deadpool 3 loses its May release date as the strike continues to affect the 2024 theatrical schedule. This is not good news at all for Deadpool. No, it's not. The more I feel that we're going to pull it behind, it's going to affect, obviously, the movie. definitely, and the way it is. And this is going to be a big movie, anticipated movie for a lot of people. I just hope they get this right and it comes out soon. I don't know.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, this is certainly, Rick, this is really not a surprise because this is the effects of the writer's strike. I mean, they filmed as everything as they could, like, before that, and they had to stop production. So, yeah, it's going to put it behind a couple of months. However, if you can see the date that they're proposing, well, basically, according to sources, they're, it may move July of 2024. But if not, it may have to move to November. So it's an interesting one, but I think it's not the only thing we're going to be hearing about movies. We've already heard movies shifting dates, but I think there's going to be more,
It's constantly.
Because you know what you get from that? If you've had writers written, say, 95% of a script, and then they went on strike, and now they're going back and working on that script, time creates different perspective. So
Correct.
I reckon you would find a lot of writers going, hey man, this thing needs a rewrite. Like, now I've been away from it for 5 months, come back to it, this is crap. Let's rewrite it. So you're going to get a little bit of that as well. I don't mind the delays, Rick. Right?
Really?
I tell you why. I don't mind the delays, because the alternative would suck. And we've lived the alternative, and that is they just rush it through.
Yeah.
And we get a subpar movie. So I will wait a few more months to ensure that we are going to get, hopefully, a fantastic film. I love what Deadpool 3 director Sean Levy recently was talking about Deadpool 3, and it's in the same story, so I'll pop it back up. And now, our movie is raw, audacious, very much R-rated, and we went to great lengths not to shoot it on sound stages with digital environments, which is exciting to hear.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted something that felt grounded, real. You put Hugh Jackman in his most character line, along with Ryan Reynolds in his most iconic character. It's more of a descent of Midnight Run and 48 Hours and Planes, Trains, Automobiles.
Wow.
And it's a descendant of airplanes. So basically what he's trying to say is it's a road movie.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting, and they're filming out and about in the real world, and they're not in digital sets. And I love that. I love the idea. I'm excited to hear that's the direction it's going. It's going to be a Midnight Run, Planes, Trains, Automobiles kind of comedy. I am so excited to hear that.
Yeah.
So again, if that means they got to wait a few more months because they need to fix a few things or rewrite, oh man, I'm down. It's exciting.
I'm down. Yeah.
I think it's my most anticipated superhero film.
I think it is for everyone.
I have coming up for anything. I mean, I'm more excited about this than I am a potential X-Men movie or even Avengers, Secret Wars. I'm more excited about this. So, yep, let it cook as long as it needs to cook, Rick.
Well, no, and I agree totally. We don't want it to rush it and ruin something that everyone's excited about. So hopefully we can get this. They get it right, which I believe they will. Speaking of trains, planes, automobiles, and Midnight Run, and all those Eddie Murphy movies.
Yeah,
he's back in the news, mate, and I disagree with this completely. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley. When is it coming out now? Jace, when I first heard they were going to do Beverly Hills Cop 4, I was shaking my head, mate, because I disagree with this, because it's been such a long time since we've had the three. Okay, the first two were fantastic. The third one was terrible, and it just didn't not. But look what's happened when Eddie has come back out and done a lot of these remakes. He's done the second Coming to America. All right, that was terrible, absolutely terrible. And now he wants to take another iconic character and bring it in now. I don't think this is going to work at all for me. Well, in your opinion, do you think it's going to work or not?
I got to say this about Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy has magic in him when he wants to pull it out. Right? We've seen recently that he can still be an incredible talent. And he sometimes has poor choices in films that he takes on. I mean, example of that was, what was that film? It was like Black Dynamite. and it starred him. Oh, I can't remember the name. It came out on Netflix. It was a fantastic movie. He was brilliant in it. But then you had Coming to America too. You're like, well, it was kind of really average,
Terrible.
you know.
Terrible.
So he can be hit and miss. If he gets it right, he could still work. Eddie Murphy can make it work. He would be great. He will be steal the scenes. He will be as funny as normal. But it's a risk, and there's no doubt about it. And the fact of the matter is, too, this has been a long, as you said, a long time coming. And it's also been delayed because of the writer's strike.
Yeah, which we've just spoken about.
So the release date's in limbo, basically what they're saying. They don't know when it's going to come out now. And so there's a chance, there's a real chance, Rick, that we may never actually ever see this thing. So, and it sounds like you'd be like, okay, well, that's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
Yeah, I'm a bit over the bringing back 35 years later deal. You know, I think, you know, yeah, that's been happening now for a while. Being Force Awakens was the big one with that one. You know, bringing all the characters back 35 years later. There's been more examples of returning back to carriers years later not working than there has that are working. Yeah. Mind you, I just started watching the new Frasier. You know Frasier?
Yeah, I love that show. Loved it.
Yeah, right. I've started watching the new series, and I thought it's fantastic. It was like they haven't missed a beat. The new show is brilliant. So it can work, and it has worked in multiple other things. Sometimes it doesn't. So I think the question is, though, Rick, is the world really itching for Axel Foley to return?
Oh. No, not in my book.
You know, I
don't know. Yeah, I mean, there was a rumor they said that Kevin Bacon is in this movie, and
yeah.
We've got some other Ryan characters, but really, no, I don't see it. Yeah. Not for me, Jay. Sorry, mate. But
not for you. Look, I'll leave it to the trailers. I'll let the trailer do their job. Will they sell that movie enough for me to go, I have to see this? Or will it be, I'll wait for it to come on streaming? And I think that's what most people are probably going to be thinking about, you know. The general movie-going audience is like, well, why do I care?
Yeah, that's right. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I want to see a trailer and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into our next story, Jace. We're going to talk about some Marvel news, mate. Yeah. So, Marvel's movie's coming out, and it's tracking for a 75 million to 80 million domestic debut in the latest test for box office superhero fatigue. Now, I know we've had this discussion a lot over our podcast, and you know, it's not tracking very well considering the first movie had come out and it grossed a lot more.
It was tracking. It was $153 million launch, Rick, and now it's well below that, and well below that. And I think there are a couple of things at play to actually cause this. I think one of them is Captain Marvel and Brie Larson herself is a character that really hasn't worked as well as some of the other Marvel characters in the sense that, you know, she's almost unstoppable. She is fairly divisive as a character. Some people didn't like her iteration of Captain Marvel. Some did. I'm okay with it. But really, most of it is Marvel fatigue. We're just done, man. We're done. Yeah. We need a break. We need fresh content. And there's nothing. The idea of it seems fresh to have Monica Rambeau and Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel all together in what seems like a very comedic film. But who knows? But yeah, I mean, the thing is they pump this stuff out so much, Rick, that people are going, well, I could just catch it on streaming before, you know, in a couple of months later. And I think that's going to be really damaging for it. But it is a strong superhero female-led film. And as we spoke before on the show, the ladies are going to the movies in droves. They want to support their fellow ladies in films. And if they market this right and they tap into that audience, this film will do really well. It's also an indicator that it's going to take a big film these days to open at $150 million in a weekend. I think those days are almost gone. I don't think it'll be a while before Marvel especially ever is able to
Get back
repeat
into it.
something like Endgame's opening weekend, which was $259 million weekend of opening weekend, something obscene that I just don't think will be matched by the MCU for a very, very long time. And I'm hoping this film is good, but I'm not excited about it at all.
To be honest,
At
with
all.
you, I kind of forgot about this movie. To be honest with you, Jace,
They
'cause-
released a really fun trailer recently, and it was fun,
Right.
but it just didn't stick with me. So
no. I'm not really excited about it. I'm not like, oh yeah, let's go to the movies. Let's go see,
yeah.
the Marvels.
Yeah.
But I'm just, I mean, we'll check it out for sure. But yeah, it's not looking good.
Well, I mean, I want it to be good. Now, don't get me wrong here. I want this film to be good because we will love a great MCU film. We had one this year with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
But we also had Quantumania, which is a giant stench.
What is it?
Mind you,
Too
guys,
much.
if you're watch the end credit scene of Quantumania this year, that plays out very well in this week's episode of Loki.
Oh,
which
wow.
Rick
Well, I haven't seen Loki yet.
Has
Right.
been phenomenal in their first 3 episodes so far. Been
Yeah.
unbelievably great shows. So,
Yeah.
like check out Loki. I'm digging that show. It's very, very good. So
Nice. Nice.
the other thing Marvel has got a problem though is, one thing that was going to be a problem, but they've been very lucky. Is originally that was supposed to open up against Dune 2, and because Dune moved their date, right, strike. Thankfully, they've got more of an opportunity now for the Marvels to do well. So let's see what they do with it. Let's see what they do with it, eh, mate?
I don't think they'll hit those numbers. No way.
Yeah. Oh, well.
All right, Jace. Let's go from one train wreck to another. Let's get into the train wreck of the week.
Rick, I'll take this one, mate, because this
I
is
know,
my
mate.
train wreck of the week.
Well,
We're
this
getting
is
into
yours.
a touchy area here. So I'm going to probably need the stage a little bit for this one.
Brace
So
yourself,
basically, a
people.
story's popped out that London Theatre cancels the world premiere of Kevin Spacey's latest movie. Now, as we know, Kevin Spacey had a myriad of allegations brought against him in regards to inappropriate relationships and behaviour and things like that. And he was certainly one of the first to go down in the cancel culture that came through. And he's still paying for that very much, where he's not getting films in Hollywood. People, want to disassociate from him and things like this, which is natural. Someone who was, accused of being a sexual predator and being inappropriate. Why would you want to associate with someone like that? But here's my problem, Rick. And it's stated here in this article. And it came out by the fact that Kevin Spacey has been cleared of all charges.
Yep.
He was cleared. And so basically, I'm going to quote here the lawyer. It was very shocking given that Kevin has been cleared. He has proven to be innocent. And who are they to say otherwise? Kevin Spacey has done nothing wrong. Mr. Spacey has proven his innocence in every courtroom which he has appeared. Every juror who has considered evidence unanimously rejected the false allegations. The Prince Charles Cinema's decision to censor Kevin's exciting new project is beyond disappointing. And this is the thing I want to bring up. In a world we live in a democratic world, we have laws in place and we have a court system.
Yep.
Now, in this, Rick, this is the problem with cancel culture. He was accused. He lost everything. But now you're proven innocent. And whether you believe that in your heart or not, whether he's innocent or not, and I can't say whether he did or didn't do it, but must we not follow the decision of the court? So if a team of jurors in multiple cases have come back and said, Kevin Spacey is innocent, who are we to continue that campaign of cancellation? I'm not saying making him Hollywood's darling, but these situations seems to be unfair and unjust in my mind, because you've been proven innocent. You know, in some ways, his accusers owe Kevin. Now, if there's evidence that comes out later on the track that he did keep following. For me, if I don't keep following what the court's decisions are and how I perceive things, then what are we doing here? Kevin Spacey's a great actor, right? That's the end of it. We all miss Kevin Spacey in films. Let's be honest. I just think it's train wreck because I think we've got to move on. The man was proven innocent. You may not think he's innocent, and to be honest with you, there's no doubt in my mind, in my gut instinct, he's probably a little bit predatory. But who am I to say? I don't have evidence of the contrary. I just think it's unfortunate that a man like that, who's working hard, who's been proven innocent for some very serious allegations, keeps being treated as he's guilty, Rick. And there's the problem. You know, how would we feel if it was like me, Rick? You know me very well, and somebody made an allegation. Straight away you go, that's ridiculous. That wasn't him. But it goes to court, and you go, right, I can't have anything to do with you because that's pretty serious allegation. Comes out in court, and I'm proven innocent. I'd be shocked if you didn't go, well, you're innocent. Fantastic. Yeah. You're clear. Let's get back to normal life.
Yeah.
But can't do that. So, to me, unfairly in that regard now, because he's been proven innocent. So I know this is a very controversial thing to say in today's environment where cancel culture is so prevalent. But this madness, where does it end for somebody like that who's proven innocent by court of law? I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying the court of law have. And I'm going to follow that because I like the society we live in. If I don't stand by court decisions, what are we doing here? Anyway, that's why I think it's a train wreck story, Rick. What are your thoughts on this?
Look, I agree with you. Look, and there are been in history other people who have done some really bad things, and they have been, proven that they have been innocent, and they've moved on, and they've gone and done what they've done, and so forth. And look, if we are in that society where we go to court, and this has been going on for a very long time, geez, how many years this has been going on?
I reckon this was 2015, 2016 when it all came out. So
why not give him the chance to prove himself and then let him move on? If it doesn't work out, if people still have their views on, okay,
don't go see his films.
Correct. Play it. If people aren't going to go, then don't go. Everyone has their opinion, but let him have that option. Let him.
The problem here is, Rick, there's a lot of hypocrisy and double standards in regards to this stuff. Because I tell you what, if he was a predator, we know he ain't alone, and he's appeared with similar people. If he was guilty, we know what's going on in Hollywood behind closed doors. He's not alone. He's been martyred by the industry, and he's been proven innocent by a court of law. We have a responsibility to allow him to get back to work. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to be his friend. I don't know if I go and see his film, but I just think the man has been proven innocent. Let the man go back to work. And this is an example of cancel culture doesn't allow him to get back to work. And they go, well, you got consequences. What consequences should he have now because he's been proven innocent? So, there you go.
If he was proven guilty, then fair enough, but he wasn't.
Proven guilty, mate. Yeah, absolutely. You get everything, Crane. You deserve everything that comes at you.
See you later. But,
wow.
There you go.
So weird, man. We're supposed to be a just society, and it's not right. Anyway.
No. You know what? Let's get all off that.
Yeah, because we don't want to get cancelled for talking about cancel culture, do we?
No. But let's get into our great Aussie telly.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum.
Okay, Rick. Yeah, let's change it up a bit. I've got two commercials here today for you, mate. Oh, and
nice.
one for us and one for them. And one for them, what I mean is like back in the 70s and early 80s in Australia, we were a very quiet country, went around our own business. But we saw an opportunity to, really try to drive up tourism here in Australia.
Yep.
And so we came up with a massive tourism campaign. There was only one man that could take that over.
Yep.
And he took that and what became one of the most iconic ads of all time. And so, let's revisit that because I'm sure a lot of our American friends have seen this ad. And let's go back and have a look at the marketing campaign from the mid-80s with the great Paul Hogan.
G'day. Thought I might be able to see America from up here. You're just across the Pacific, you know. Hello. Looks like a boatload of your countrymen coming in there now. Right. And a plane load. Better fill the icebox and fire up the barbie. Because Aussies like to make you feel at home. G'day, viewers. Just been telling the Yanks how Australia's the best place for a holiday and the friendliest place on earth. The beaches are crisp and clean, beer's cold, and there's plenty of shrimps on the bar. The least we can do is make sure everyone's smiling. I'm not asking you to rent out the spare bedroom or anything. Just flash the pearly whites and say g'day to a visitor.
G'day. 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 G'day.
Come on. Don't make a liar out of me.
G'day. There you go. And it was one of the most, and as Australians, we personally have a bit of an issue with that campaign. And what issue do we have?
Well, we don't drink Foster's for starters.
That's number one. There's another big problem with that campaign.
Shrimp on the barbie.
We don't eat shrimp. They're prawns.
No.
We eat a prawn. And I don't even know that many people who really cook them up on barbies. The occasional hoisty
people still talk about that though, Jace. They always go, shrimp on the barbie.
I do work on that other channel with Jason Roy Gaston, and I'm constantly barraged with shrimp on the barbie jokes. Not only by my co-host, but the people who watch. So yeah, it's made a massive impact. Massive impact. But you know what? There's another little ad, which I don't think the Americans would have really know about, but it became super iconic for us here in Australia. We still quote it to this day, very much so. Well, I do, I know that. Let's take a look at some of, and by the way, the people who made this ad for the brand, Yellow Pages, they have incredibly great commercials, and this is one that really captured the heart of Australia. Let's have a look.
A broken fraps. Problem with my Gogomobile. Gogomobile? Problem with my Gogomobile. And I was wondering if Goggo. Problem with my Gogomobile. And yeah? Yeah? No, not the dark. Not the dark. So I always think it's the dark. It's a weird rapper.
I
It's
remember
not the dark.
that.
I always think it's the dark.
Wow.
But how many people you're going to G or G or? And going back, it's not even that funny, but it just was an ad that just everybody would quote, wouldn't they? It played for years. In fact, they ended up doing a massive campaign with multiple ads based off of that one. And then that guy ended up got a lot of acting work after that as well. So it was actually, it was fantastic, So, and definitely a slice of 80s Australia, I think, right there, isn't it?
That the power of ads. I remember that. And all those other ads continue on with it, and crazy. And now we don't have phone books. Our times have changed.
Yellow Pages don't make that ads no more because
Shame. They don't make ads like that anymore, Jace.
I will say, just editorially, I was working at a company around the time where Yellow Pages were not becoming as necessary anymore because Google had really gone. And the money that they would charge people to put their ad in the Yellow Pages, it was a crime. And to see that completely, that model gets stripped away basically in front of them, I was always like, yeah, you guys, like, sometimes it was $25,000 to get an ad, little ad. In the Yellow Pages. It was ridiculous, It was ridiculous, but there you go. But great ads anyway.
Great.
But there we go, Rick.
Loved it, Jay. All right, that is it for the show. We appreciate everyone that has watched and joined us, and And Jace, how about you share with everyone? I know you're on some other podcasts as well, buddy. So where can people catch you?
Of course, you can also catch me over on the Jason Roy Gaston YouTube channel. There's me trying to keep this psychopath in check and look after his cats, because this Texan certainly needs all the help he can get. Yeah, but it's a great show. We have a lot of fun. We've got, If You Don't Agree, You're Wrong, a weekly show where we talk about everything we've watched that week in television. It's a lot of fun. The VHS Vault now lives there. Great. We're watching great retro movies. We dropped War Games just recently. And, of course, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. We're big fans. Power of J-Skull is our show dedicated to that. Also, beautiful. Jason Roy Gaston, my co-host on that channel, he also works with Captain Joe Dove on Captain's Quadrant, which I used to be on, but now I'm a kind of background producer. You can see I've done some graphics for them. It's a great little show. If you're into Trek, get on it. They really smart. They know what they're doing. They have a lot of fun. So please go check out Captain's Quadrant. And finally, after this show, in fact, I think in about 20 minutes, when we go over to the Sci-Fi Queens YouTube channel. They've got a live show coming up in 20 minutes, Rick, where they're going to be talking about a movie called Fire Maidens from Outer Space, a classic 50s sci-fi film. So check them out. They're a lot of fun as well. And of course, don't forget, most importantly, to stay here, because we have, if you're after reactions on trailers, we got that covered. You want to talk about movie and streaming news? We got that covered. So, yeah, we definitely hang around.
Fantastic, Jace. Mate, we are busy. Everyone is busy. All the links that Jason has spoken about, we'll pop them down below, guys, so you can find all those great content creators there, guys. So jump on board and support them. They are fantastic people. Jace, once again, thank you so much, mate. Really, really appreciate it. What a great show. And we will see everyone.
Once we got it going.
Once we get technical issues. Damn you. But we will see everyone next week. Bye for now.
See ya. Thanks for watching the Pop Culture Spread YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Also, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. And if you're looking for some quality wear, don't forget to check out our merchandise store, available right now.